First contact and catastrophe. The skies above Geneva were unusually clear on the night everything changed. Dr. Maya Chen stood on the observatory deck of the International Space Research Institute, her eyes fixed not on the stars above, but on the data streaming across her tablet. For 3 years, she had led the xenobiology department, preparing humanity for a moment most considered purely theoretical, first contact. Tonight, that theory was becoming reality. "Are you absolutely certain?" Maya asked, her voice steady despite the adrenaline surging through her veins. Dr. Haruki Tanaka nodded, his normally composed demeanor crackling with barely contained excitement. "The signal repeats every 127 seconds. It contains prime number sequences and what appears to be a complex mathematical formula. This isn't random cosmic noise, Maya. Someone is reaching out." The signal had originated from Epsilon Eridani, a star system just over 10 light-years from Earth, close by cosmic standards. The transmission had begun 3 days ago, growing stronger with each passing hour. World governments had been notified, but the public remained unaware. For now, Maya tucked a strand of black hair behind her ear and stared at the waveform pulsing across her screen. "Have we decoded any of it yet?" "Partially," Haruki replied, swiping through several screens of analysis. "The mathematical component seems to be a set of coordinates. They're moving." Maya's eyes widened. "They're coming here." Within 24 hours, the signal became irrelevant. Long-range telescopes detected an object approaching Earth at impossible speeds, decelerating as it entered the solar system. By the time it reached Mars' orbit, there was no denying what it was: a vessel of clearly non-human origin, nearly 2 kilometers in length, shaped like an elongated diamond with pulsing blue lights along its hull. Earth erupted into chaos and celebration simultaneously. Religious leaders declared it the end times or divine intervention. Scientists worked around the clock analyzing every scrap of data. Military forces worldwide went on high alert. Social media overflowed with theories, memes, and panic. Through it all, Maya worked with a hastily assembled international team to prepare humanity's response. "We need to establish communication protocols," she insisted during an emergency United Nations session. "First impressions matter. We can't afford to appear hostile or primitive." General William Hayes of the United States Space Force scoffed. "With all due respect, Doctor, we need to prioritize planetary defense. We know nothing about their intentions, which is precisely why we shouldn't point weapons at them," Maya countered. "If they wanted to destroy us, they could have done so from beyond our detection range." The debate raged for hours until a compromise was reached. Earth would attempt peaceful communication while maintaining defensive readiness. A message was crafted, translating the mathematical language from the alien signal into a greeting of peace and curiosity. For 3 tense days, the alien vessel maintained position in high Earth orbit, silent and inscrutable. Then, without warning, it deployed smaller craft, dozens of sleek, oval-shaped shuttles that descended toward major cities across the globe. Maya watched from ISRI headquarters as one of the shuttles approached Geneva. It hovered 300 meters above Lake Geneva, emitting a soft, pulsing light that seemed to scan the surroundings. Similar reports came in from New York, Tokyo, London, Cairo, and other metropolitan centers. "They're observing us," Maya whispered to Haruki as they monitored the situation. "Learning before they engage." But not everyone interpreted the visitors' actions so benignly. In New Delhi, a nervous fighter pilot, acting against orders, fired a warning shot near one of the alien shuttles. The response was immediate and devastating. The shuttle emitted a brilliant pulse of energy that disabled every electronic device within a 5-kilometer radius. Within hours, every major city on Earth was under assault. The alien shuttles unleashed devastating energy weapons that targeted military installations first, then critical infrastructure. The mothership remained in orbit, seemingly coordinating the attack. Conventional weapons proved ineffective against the alien technology. Missiles were intercepted mid-flight, fighter jets disabled before they could engage. By nightfall, the world was in flames. Global communications were fragmented, governments scattered, and millions dead or displaced. Humanity faced extinction, all because of a tragic misunderstanding. Maya found herself in an underground bunker beneath the Alps, one of several contingency facilities established by European nations for existential threats. Around her huddled scientists, military personnel, and government officials, all shell-shocked, all desperate for solutions. "This isn't who they are," Maya insisted, addressing the assembled survivors. Her clothes were torn and soot-stained, but her resolve remained unbroken. Advanced species don't evolve by being unnecessarily violent. There's a reason for this attack. The reason is pretty damn clear, spat Colonel Victor Jackson, a NATO officer with a bleeding gash across his forehead. "They want our planet." Maya shook her head. If they wanted the planet, they would have sterilized the surface from orbit. This is targeted, precise. They're responding to what they perceive as aggression. She pulled up salvage data from the alien signals on a backup system. Look at the original transmission. These mathematical sequences aren't just coordinates. They're a language, their version of linguistic syntax. For hours, Maya worked with the remaining scientists, analyzing everything they knew about the aliens. A pattern emerged. The visitors responded with proportional force to any perceived threat. They communicated through mathematical patterns and energy pulses rather than sound or conventional radio frequencies. "They don't understand us because they don't perceive reality the way we do," Maya explained. "They might experience the electromagnetic spectrum directly. Our radio transmissions, radar systems, and electronic signatures could seem like chaotic noise or even deliberate interference." Colonel Jackson leaned forward, his skepticism giving way to desperate hope. "So how do we tell them we surrender?" Maya looked up, her eyes bright with realization. "We don't surrender. We synchronize." Understanding dawned across the faces of the scientists in the room. If the aliens communicated through mathematical patterns in the electromagnetic spectrum, then perhaps humanity could speak to them in their own language. "We need to create a harmonized pulse that matches their communication frequency," Maya explained, sketching rapidly on a tablet. "Not random broadcasts, but a coherent message using their mathematical syntax." "And what happens when they understand us?" asked a skeptical diplomat. Maya took a deep breath. "Then we either make peace or we fight with knowledge instead of confusion." As the alien assault continued above, Maya led a desperate team of scientists working to create a device that could translate human intention into the aliens' mathematical language. They scavenged components from the bunker's equipment, repurposing satellite communications gear and quantum computing processors. Time was running out. Reports indicated that the aliens were methodically working their way through population centers, and some shuttles had begun targeting smaller towns and rural areas. This wasn't merely about neutralizing military threats anymore. It was becoming an extinction event. Colonel Jackson approached Maya as she calibrated the makeshift translator. "Our last satellite link went down 10 minutes ago," he said grimly. "We're completely in the dark now, but before we lost connection, we received intelligence that the aliens are heading this way. We have maybe 6 hours before they're on top of us." Maya nodded, not looking up from her work. "Then we have 6 hours to save humanity." Humanity's ingenious response. Sunrise painted the ruined landscape in hues of gold and crimson as Maya Chen made final adjustments to the device they now called the harmonic translator. 6 hours had stretched to 8 as the alien shuttle methodically cleared the surrounding villages before approaching the hidden bunker. "They know we're here," Colonel Jackson said, peering through a periscope at the hovering alien craft. "They're scanning the mountain." Maya nodded, her fingers flying over the control panel of their improvised creation. The harmonic translator resembled a chaotic fusion of satellite equipment, quantum processors, and modified radio arrays. It wasn't elegant, but it represented humanity's last, best hope. "The mathematics is sound," she said, more to reassure herself than the others. If they truly communicate through mathematical patterns in the electromagnetic spectrum, this should create a coherent message they can understand. Dr. Haruki, so this entire catastrophe was a cosmic misunderstanding? The British Prime Minister asked incredulously. Yes, Maya confirmed. But it's also an opportunity. The Unified possess technology centuries beyond our own. They've offered to help us rebuild, to share knowledge and resources as atonement for the destruction they caused. The debate that followed was heated. Many humans wanted nothing to do with the aliens who had devastated their world. Others saw the potential benefits of such an alliance, but all recognized the fundamental reality. Humanity was no longer alone in the universe, and isolation was no longer an option. Colonel Jackson, who had witnessed the communication breakthrough firsthand, addressed the council with unexpected eloquence. 24 hours ago, we faced extinction. Now we're discussing trade agreements with an advanced alien civilization. If that doesn't demonstrate humanity's resilience, I don't know what does. The path forward wasn't simple. Trust would take generations to build, but the immediate crisis had been averted through understanding rather than force. The harmonic translator became the foundation for a new field of interspecies communication, with Maya leading a global initiative to establish permanent dialogue with the Unified. In the months that followed, humanity began the long process of rebuilding. The Unified provided technological assistance, sustainable energy systems, advanced medical technologies, and environmental remediation techniques. They remained in Earth orbit, a constant reminder of both the catastrophe and the potential that lay ahead. 1 year after first contact, Maya stood on the observation deck of the newly reconstructed International Space Research Institute. Above her, the alien mothership glimmered in the twilight sky, now a familiar sight to Earth's inhabitants. Beside her stood Haruki and Colonel Jackson, both now key figures in humanity's interstellar relations program. We almost lost everything, Haruki remarked quietly. But we didn't, Maya replied. Instead, we gained the universe. Jackson, still uncomfortable with the aliens despite working closely with them, grunted. We showed them something, too. No other species they've encountered adapted so quickly to communication with them. They underestimated human ingenuity. Maya smiled. Earth was forever change, scared by tragedy, but strengthened by survival. The initial contact had become a war through misunderstanding, but humanity had ended it through innovation and determination, not with weapons, but with intelligence and the fundamental human drive to connect and understand. As night fell completely, new lights appeared in the sky. A delegation of unified representatives descending to Earth for the signing of the Interstellar Cooperation Treaty. Humanity's first day of war with an alien civilization had nearly been its last. But humanity's first era of peaceful cooperation with the cosmos was just beginning. In the end, what had saved Earth wasn't military might or technological superiority, but the quintessentially human ability to improvise, adapt, and find common ground across seemingly insurmountable differences. Humanity had faced its greatest challenge and emerged not just surviving, but reaching for the stars with new allies by their side. The universe would never be the same. Neither would humanity.